A lot of love is erupting forward. A lot of love for my. It's really beautiful to gaze into a man's eyes and to see love. To have love that has no agenda, but just to see it. It's a watery love. It's recognizable upon that first interaction with just the gaze, with when hearts are literally focused at one another. For me, it's just this ecstatic eruption of energy. Now, what we're going to do with that, I'm not sure right now. Right now it just seems like it's swirling in me. It's loading. It's a coil. It's a coil that's loading, ready to be fired, ready to be opened.
Yeah, externally for me, what I see going on is with the masculine role is it's not necessarily that the males in this world are trying to protect the land. Obviously there's some out there, but generally they're not protecting this land. We're kind of like contaminating it and disrupting its rhythm that the feminine nature holds that we need to return back to, especially us men, so the women can employ that and innovate that essence that us men need to feel ourselves with women and within other men too, just to the more that men internally see that within themselves, the more blooming happens within the man, and you start budding in the tree within you, the branching out happens, and that's just the nourishing of both sides. So externally I see contamination and distortion and not protecting and not having faith or trust in the feminine essence or the mother of this earth. And internally, I see us men coming back to the darkness and the mystery and the intelligence and the creative forces that the femininity holds, essentially. So that's kind of what I see externally, and then internally it's all just unfolding and things are just happening here and there, and just I feel it's very important for us men to recognize that within ourselves and honor that and collaborate with that and commune with ourselves more, and just it's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful.
And to become vulnerable again.
Yeah, vulnerability, exactly, yeah.
To really just go into that, to know that it's not emasculating to become vulnerable. It's actually very empowering when you when you just embrace that component that's been exhausted from society. But when you really come back into that vulnerability within ourselves, it's this ecstatic joy of remembrance of a time where we could just lay and cuddle and not have to worry about fighting wars, but just be in rapturous bliss with the ones we love.
Yeah, the vulnerability is perfect, what you said there, because that reminds me of like the movie 300 and King Leonidas being so vulnerable and trusting in the land and protecting his queen, and just the fundamental nature of what he represented for the Greeks or the country or the land and everything like that. He gave himself to that and trusted and surrendered into that, and that's all vulnerability, and just stepped up to the plate and stood his ground. He just knew what he didn't know what was going to happen, but he just did it because that's love, that's vulnerability, that's standing out, that's outstanding behavior, essentially. And I think women are asking for us men to come forward and do that, so they feel more empowered to do it themselves and collaborate with everything that's going on with their lives. So yeah, I like that vulnerability piece. It's good.